Hello again there, everybody. This is going to be Jun League number 114. This is a nearly identical list to the list I played in 113. We are further exploring the power of Urza's Saga, a new Modern Horizons 2 card that at face value doesn't seem like it would really go in a deck like this, but there are plenty of good utility cards that Juns can gain access to in its colors, like Nile's Spellbomb, Pyrite Spellbomb. We can kind of turn into a toolboxy deck with this kind of card, and also just an alternate win condition is pretty sick. Um, the difference in this deck compared to the last deck is I went down one copy of Ragavan Nimble Pilferer. This is only a product of the card being currently at an all-time high. I think it's about 125 tickets at the moment, and my Mana Trader's rental limit is I believe about 950. So I needed to cut one in order to get it back into the ticket limit. But I did get to add a Shadow Spear, which is something that I was wanting to do. So I just did a 1-for-1 swap there, and hopefully we don't miss that fourth copy. Other than that, though, the deck is completely the same. Let's look at the current modern metagame. Jund moved up to 5th place. This is the version that we're playing with the Urza Saga, so people have been having some pretty promising results with it, which is exciting. But other than that, we've seen pretty much these top 10 dominate in the recent past. So a pretty well defined top 10, and then even going into the next 5 decks. These are all decks that we've seen before. Nothing too drastically new. More exciting. I mean, I like the format right now, so the format's exciting, but nothing super new. All right, let's jump into the matches. Going first, always nice. Um, so we could probably get to Delirium pretty quickly with this hand. We've got a 1-mana threat and a way to interact. It's a bit land heavy, but we do have Luris as an extra card. Just hide him over here, I guess. So I'll go turn 1 Channeler off of Blackleaf Cliffs. I feel like that's probably pretty straightforward. If they don't do anything we want to kill immediately, I'll still probably just cast the Pyrite Spellbomb to get some filtering going. The opponent has mulligans at least once so far. Cool. Alright, so fairly straightforward. Foundry. So my mind jumps to burn. Although bolting this immediately may indicate it's not burn, but it's still pretty likely. That was a horrendous draw. I guess I will just play a forest, cast a spell bomb. Oh yeah. Wow, okay. Well, that'll get bolted. And then if I really draw another blank on the turn coming up, I'll take the turn off to put Luris to hand. I mean, their pseudo zoo deck not having anything to do here is at least nice. Alright. Inquisition is fine, but it's going to be fine on future turns as well. Let's do the most mana efficient thing, which is put Luris to hand. Next turn I can play Luris and Channeler if I'd like to. But I'll more likely want to probably Inquisition to make sure that the way is clear for the Luris, because we do have something worth looping. Zoo is probably a pretty good matchup. They have nothing? Wow. Ooh, Bobble was an excellent draw, because now we can get value off of Luris immediately and be able to Inquisition. But they're not playing creatures, so they're pretty likely to have just lots of lands and or lots of removal spells. So, yeah, Flames, Helix, exactly, exactly. So Flames does 3 damage at the moment. I'm probably just going to take Helix because it most significantly changes the clock, and it's their way to interact at instant speed. The question becomes, do I want to play the Luris to just immediately have it die? I will get my card off of it with this Mishra's Bauble. Honestly, it's probably fine. Their removal spells are gonna kill my stuff at some point, no matter what. Perhaps I could have bobbled first to get more info, but their hand is so redundant I got kind of not punished. I can't really Scry Trick because I'm casting Luris off of a fetch land anyway. They have Iteration on top. Well, they can't cast that. I've got my 2 non-mountain basics, so Myers the better fetch. I should save it in case I need to get mountain. Don't think I ever need lots of green, do I? Yeah, I do have lots of green spells. I think like the tertiary color in this deck is probably black, but I do need another black source to cast the Luris, and I'm only on 1 red, so let's do Blood Crypt. Then I'll recast the Bauble immediately. And then I already know the opponent's top card, so I'm going to keep the string of information going, I'll Bauble after they draw the Iteration. Alright, so their hand will be Tribal Flames, and the Iteration they're drawing. Goyf, perfect. Alright, now I'll Bauble the opponent on the end step, because if I find another threat, I'm going to want to go threat. Apply max pressure where I can. They've got Loam Lion on top. So this is basically just a Curd Ape, but color shifted, right? Alright, so that's A-okay. That doesn't really do anything. Secondary threat would be excellent. How about tertiary threat? I could just cast all of these things. I believe that's the plan. So I will need second green. I could dash Ragavan to hit the Loam Lion, but honestly, I would prefer my opponent draw the Loam Lion. It doesn't really seem like it's going to be doing a whole lot of anything. Alright, Tarmogoyf number 1. And being a 5/6 seems relevant as well, because if they do eventually get to the Delirium, or not Delirium, the full domain for Tribal Flames, it's going to be out of range for literally all of Tribal Flames, because again, it does at max 5, and Goyf's got 6 toughness, so sick. Yeah. We drew poorly in the beginning, but we're drawing hot now, which is nice. Yep. So their hand is Iteration and double Tribal Flames. It's going to kill Monkey. Yep. I mean, they don't have good blocks, though. Bauble doesn't do much. I guess I could continue to get perfect information off of the opponent. Alternatively, I could just Bauble myself, and then I can determine whether or not I want to sack the Spell Bomb now. I think I'd rather do that. We see Inquisition on top. Yeah, that's probably worth it. I'm going to attack first so my opponent blocks or doesn't block without the information that I'm going to Inquisition them. And then I know that their hand is Iteration Tribal Flames. Tribal Flames already doesn't do anything, so I think I'm just going to take the Iteration. And I know they can't cast the iteration, but should they find the land, which most of their draws are, or not most of, but the highest likelihood is, then iteration can maybe dig them out of it, finding removal spells that would actually kill the Goyf, or just creatures that would maybe brick Goyfs, like Goyfs of their own. Ren and 6 is nice, though, because if we do end up in a Goyf stalemate, Ren and 6 can break the tie. Urza Saga is a good one. I mean, I'm going to start by jamming. They're in chump block territory already. What's up, Spunky? Doing well, doing well. Hope for you the same. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each basic land type. Alright, so +3/+3. So they're going to bump heads, but then Ren and 6 is going to wreck its day. And why not add an Urza Saga to the mix? So their hand's Tribal Flames X. Any Legacy practice streams coming soon? The little Legacy practice that I've done off camera. I've got a mini little testing team, and we've been Discord chatting to figure out the Legacy scene. Alright, so we're playing against 5-color Zoo. It appears Magic Online has frozen. Come on, catch up. There we go. Terminate probably just fine versus a Zoo deck. Explosives probably excellent. That seems about the only two things that I'm excited about. I'm not super excited about Nile Spellbomb. Pirate Spellbomb can probably kill something at some point, so that one might be okay to keep. And then maybe I just cut like a Thoughtseize. The discard's probably good to neuter their nut draws. But going into a top deck war and versus all of the burn, losing 2 life does kind of suck. Especially going to the top deck war where the card is relatively useless. I don't know that I want Kolaghan's Command. Its most relevant mode is probably just going to be a Shock. 3-mana Shock is expensive. It might be better than Thoughtseize, though, but on the draw, maybe it's best to hedge against getting nut drawed. Could be wrong, though. This card does also get better on the play, so I think it's probably worse on the draw than it is on the play. But even now on the draw, I might want to still keep it versus something hyper aggro-y where I just really don't have anything else to bring in. Typically, I would probably want to bring the Thoughtseize out, but there just isn't really anything I want to play over it. Yep, reveal the busted card. I've got lots of my toolbox stuff here already. I mean, I've got kind of a removal spell on 1, Ren and 6 on 2. I'm interaction light and I'm threat light, but I've got some redraws and I've got a banger. Yeah, I'll keep it. It's not exciting, but it's got potential. Blackleaf Cliffs, not super ideal. I guess what I can do first is lead on Mishra's Bauble, targeting myself. If I see a removal spell on top, I can draw it on my opponent's upkeep. Otherwise, I can fetch it away. We've got Dragon's Rage Channeler on top. Do I want that? I think I'm going to want to dig for removal spells before threats of my own. While on the draw, I think I'm going to take the stance of the control deck more often than not. So I do think I want to shuffle out away in an attempt to dig for more removal, and I should probably also try to get this Spell Bomb into play. So what I think I'm going to do is fetch for basic Forest. Forest still lets me cast Wrenn and 6 on turn 2, and there's lots of green stuff in the deck, so Forest's not particularly detrimental. Thanks for the bits, Ian. I appreciate it. Alright, so we'll draw a card, ideally finding removal spells. Because again, I really want to be the control deck here while I'm on the draw. Get smacked. Yep. Alright, this draw is going to be hard to beat almost no matter what. There is the removal, but now we're a bit far off of Delirium. Had I fetched Shocked, I could have gotten a red source to like double kill something, but that doesn't seem like a game where I'm winning anyway. If I Wrenn and 6 plus, maybe I can create a distraction for a turn, but that doesn't seem very likely. For sure playing Blackleaf Cliffs. Yeah, Wrenn and 6 does not look promising, but it's not getting much better on this board. And at least if they kill the Wrenn and 6, that can contribute towards my own Delirium. If I plus, they've got to at least attack it with 2 things. So Unholy Heat was a good find, but triple 1-drop is going to make it difficult. Hey, thanks for the gift of 2 subs, Maham. I appreciate it. And funnily enough, you gave one to Ian. Don't know if that was intended. Alright, they're just going straight to face. Brutal. So I'm going to need to find another removal spell. Pretty much immediately. And them not binning my Wrenn is going to make Delirium a little bit harder. Looking dire here. If I find a Tarmogoyf and can somehow stabilize, I could see a world where Shadow Spear's lifelink pulls me back. But it's going to have to happen sooner rather than later. Okay. Maybe not at all. Channeler. Yeah, that ain't going to do it. We're dead. Effectively a turn 3 kill. Literally a turn 4 though. Magic Online is being slow. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I mentioned them. I see 2. Ian got one of them, and then someone else got another. I appreciate it. Anything to bring in on the play now? I mentioned Thoughtseize probably being better on the play than on the draw. Still not certain there's something I would want to play over it. Maybe Expedition Map is just too slow. Like, it's here so that way Urza Saga can get a map to find another Urza Saga so you can make more tokens. It's more of a grindy piece that takes place over many turns, but I don't know if we're going to have the luxury of many turns. Yeah, I think I am going to bring in the Thoughtseize over the map. Why not? On the play, I think it's just a little bit better. So we've got a 1-card sideboard for this matchup. Just the explosives for a Spell Bomb. I would like to go first. Reveal the thing. Yeah, this hand seems good. I get to go turn 1 Channeler off of Blood Crypt. Turn 2, I can fetch for basic Forest to cast Wrenn and 6. I've got a Thoughtseize as a follow-up as well. And I may even want to Thought Seize first if I see that Brennan 6 wouldn't kill anything on turn 2. Playing around Blood Moon is not really a concern versus the 5-color deck, but I would like to avoid taking a bunch of life off of Shocklands. So I'll fetch first, because since I've drawn the Bauble, I want my Surveil to actually mean something. So I'll shuffle before I Surveil. Get my Forest. I guess I can do it now. Yield to this. What we got? Inquisition. Inquisition is, this early in the game, probably still relevant. We've got a sweeper and engineered explosive, so I actually kind of like keeping Inquisition. And then we can't create Delirium this turn, so I think I'm going to save the Bauble for next turn to Surveil again. No turn 1 play is exciting for us, though. Scion of Draco. Alright, well that would have been a reason to Thoughtseize first and or have Kolaghan's Command in the deck. We still have outs to it in the form of Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heat. Obviously can't really ever explosives this. Alright, so... If I'm gonna Inquisition and Thoughtseize, I'm gonna want to be fetching first, so that way again the Surveils actually mean something. So I'll get basic Swamp just to save some life. Cast Inquisition. Trigger. This doesn't fly, does it? It does fly. So I should actually go to my second main phase, because in the event I get Delirium, I don't want to suicide my Channeler into it. So they've got Path, and another Scion. Alright, well, at least our Thoughtseize is going to get to hit the other Scion, and then as soon as we can find an answer for this first Scion, we're okay. Alright, I'm not attacking into that thing. Although I honestly could attack because Renin 6 would threaten killing it. Alright, so Thoughtseize. So yeah, this I don't know if this is the Thoughtseize that I had brought in, but it is at least being good here. And we found the Unholy Heat, keeping it. We're going to be one type off after the Bauble and this fetch land re-enters the yard. So again, we know Unholy Heat. I'm going to save the Bauble for a Surveil later. This is going to be a close one. Scion is scary if they find another creature here. But yeah, should have thought to bring in Kolaghan's Command for this. The shock mode was what I was thinking going to be the best mode, but having another relevant mode seems like it would have been good. So we're adding land, we're adding artifact. Ideally, we can get another type into the yard somehow. I could Renin 6 my own Dragon's Rage Channeler to add creature. It seems crazy, but I mean, if it means dealing with their one really good threat, it might be worth it. Let's see where they go. Just straight to the dome. Yep. If they didn't draw a creature here, I do think I'm going to take the line of kill my own Channeler. The Scion is that dangerous. Alright, and they didn't draw a threat. That's pretty big news. Ideally, we just flip Delirium with this Bauble, and then I don't have to worry about killing my own Channeler, because this thing will kill me. If I go for the minus on the Renin 6, then they Path to Exile me in response. That could be potentially problematic. Alright, so if I fetch Shock, Stomping Ground, and then cast this, I'll still have the red mana to do this. I want my Surveil to like actually mean something, assuming I'm not just digging for Delirium here. Alright. Bubble. So we're looking for ideally like a creature on top. Land on top is not good. So if I go for the minus, what are the odds they see the line and they end up pathing my thing? That would be bad. Let's bobble myself, get some information. Because if I see another removal spell on top, maybe I can just afford to wait. Pyrite Spellbomb. That kind of works. So this Scion is being problematic. We've been lucky enough for the opponent to not draw removal spells. I mean, if we can get rid of this Scion and maybe even ultimate this Renin 6, we'll just have as many Unholy Heats as we want, or nearly as many as many Unholy Heats as we want. Draw a card, Spell Bomb. Yeah, and I'm gonna avoid fetching when I can, but if the opponent just has a Tribal Flames at any point now, we are just dead. Because we couldn't kill the stupid Scion. We don't have any life gain either. Windslope Teeth we did not know about. Okay, well, we are alive. We can use Spell Bomb and Unholy Heat to kill the Scion. He drew a Bolt, okay. So if I use the Bolt in the Spell Bomb... If I use the Bolt in the Spell Bomb, we do turn on the Delirium, so the Unholy Heat can kill a future Scion by itself, which seems like the route that I want to go. So what I think I'm doing here is playing Urza Saga, using it to cast Spell Bomb, pop Spell Bomb on it, use Lightning Bolt, hold up another Lightning Bolt, attack for 3, activate Renin 6. It's a lot of stuff. And then maybe if this Urza Saga pops off, I can get the Lifelink equipment. If I bolt the opponent, that adds instant that way, and then the Unholy Heat takes care of just the Scion. Ideally, we just hit the stupid Delirium. Perfect. Alright. Kill this thing. We're alive. We need to dodge Tribal Flames. Another Bolt. So we're attacking for 3, puts the opponent down to 12. We have Bolt, Bolt puts you to 6. Spell Bomb puts you to 4. But I mean, I'm likely wanting to ultimate this Renin 6, but ultimating this Renin 6 could just mean more Bolts. Given their path, though, I think I want to just dig for actual more creatures. Alright. If I take the land out of the yard, no longer attack for 3, so I'll attack first. I could just plus the Renin 6 Okay, they're just doing that. I'll say I could just plus the Ren and 6 and not get back a land just to maintain the Delirium. But now since I no longer have a Channeler, I will get back the land so that way our emblem is better. And then we're still trying to fade a Tribal Flames. That would be pretty bad for us. Is there any reason to Explosives preemptively? As long as I've got an instant speed spell, probably not. Yeah, early stream. Pretty exciting. Oh, they have a Bolt. Alright, well, we know their last 2 cards. So we got to dodge burn. They've got lots of it in the deck. Bolts, Helixes, Tribal Flames. So it is not looking likely. I mean, we are about to get this Ren and 6 ultimate off, though, and we've got a flurry of bolts, maybe. We've got at least 3 bolts in hand. That's 9. This is 10, 11. If we just draw another land... Actually, we're short on enough red to do it all. Inquisition. I guess Urza Saga makes a 2/2. Alright, this is going to mean lightning bolts. Alright, so if we can fade 1 draw step, we just may get there. I think this Inquisition's kind of just free the way my mana is working out. We'll probably just see a couple lands. Yep. Alright. If you draw a creature, I think I win. So end of turn, I'll activate Saga, bolt you twice. And then that should just do it. We gotta get lucky. Gotta get lucky. Alright, cross your fingers. I feel like I didn't get lucky. I feel like they drew it. Scion. We can beat that, right? I think that gets us there. Right? So let me do the math again. Like, worst case, we have Unholy Heat. So I activate Saga, make a thing, bolt you, puts you to 8. I guess maybe I need to keep a land for the Unholy Heat now, though. I can bolt them 3 times, which puts them to 5. Spellbomb. So if I just draw a land, they do just die. This is happening for sure. Is there anything I can get with Urza Saga that would be relevant? I mean, this can get the lifelink enchantment, the lifelink thing. So like we can make this a 4/4. We could play explosives for 0 to make it a 4/4, which would also give it lifelink, which would mean they have to block. Yeah. I don't want to show them the bolt in hand. Let's lightning bolt them from here. Pay a red. Ditch this. And I guess I should actually use the bolt from hand, because that means I'll have the lands to untap with, so if I do need to use Unholy Heat, I can. So this is going to trigger, again, so if I activate this... Oh, we did just draw the land, though. So I just bolt them, Pyrite Spellbomb them. It doesn't matter. Just keep up a bunch of red. Alright, so Lightning Bolt, target you. Ditch this. Lightning Bolt, target you. Pay a red. Ditch this. 2 damage to any target you. Wow. Okie dokie. Close one. We did get lucky at a handful of junctures there. The opponent not drawing any additional creatures was pretty clutch. Darn. I'd consider keeping if this were a black source, but it is not. This hand's great if we just get lucky and draw it, but the odds are against us. This hand's much better. Keep. Not bottoming these. Renin 6 is awkward because of the 3 lands we have. 2 of them don't cast it. Not bottoming these though. So it's probably one of these two. I think Renin 6 is going to be the best, assuming we find the land for it. And like we need to find lands anyway, so I'm going to bottom Saga. Is it Murktide? Is it Prowess? Murktide doesn't traditionally play Swiftspear, right? Take my lick. So my hand is not particularly set up well to beat a Stormwing entity, so I may want to just use the Thoughtseize here. The Renin 6 doesn't really kill anything anyway. The real decision is between Thoughtseize and Unholy Heat. Kind of close. Obviously, if I don't Unholy Heat, they're going to get to attack with a Swiftspear again, which could equate to a lot of damage. But the Thoughtseize is going to get a lot worse really quickly. And Thoughtseize now is also better if the opponent has exactly 2 more creatures, because I don't have a removal spell for the 3rd one. You wonder if Sprite Dragon is next turn? Well, if they got Sprite Dragon, I've got the Renin 6 for it, but I would not have wanted to play the Swamp. The issue, though, is that, like, I would have to fetch shock twice to get the Renin 6 into play next turn, unless I want to get Basic Mountain, which maybe was not a bad idea, but I don't want to Lavax myself getting Overgrown Tomb and Thoughtseizing. Alright, it is just Prowess. Alright, I think I'm taking a Manamorphose here. Manamorphose equates to a damage plus draw a card plus dig for a threat. I'm not super scared of a Lightning Bolt. It is bad for me, but I think Manamorphose is scarier. Yeah, the opponent is digging for action here in the form of creatures. The removal spells in the form of Bolt are only ever going to face, which is bad for me, but creatures are much worse for me at this stage. They drew a Spire Bluff. So what I'll probably do now is fetch for a Mountain to Unholy Heat. I could also just fetch shock a Stomping Ground to get the Goyf down, which would effectively stonewall the Swiftspear as well. Getting Basic Mountain means that I'm going to have to fetch shock on a future turn anyway, unless I draw Basic Forest. Fetch shocking puts me to 6, which is not ideal. Wow. Okay. We are in it. So having drawn that, I think I want to get Tarmogoyf down. We can maybe attack with a Shadow Speared Goyf. It's 1 to cast, 2 to equip, so I can attack with a Lifelinker next turn. Yeah, I was pretty split on which 2 to do, but given we've drawn exactly Shadow Spear, I think I want to get the creature into play. We're still in danger. I do have to block. They get 3 mana and 3 fresh cards. It's a lot. Alright, well, one of their cards is Fiery Islet. So maybe we're stabilizing. I don't know why they didn't play the Islet in order to sacrifice it. Alright, so we cannot get Delirium here. If they've got any spell, they can save themselves from a Swift Spear, save themselves from a single and a Holy Heat while we don't have the Delirium. So I think the plan now is still just play a Shadow Spear, equip a Shadow Spear. Question becomes, do I attack? I'm going to 5 off of the fetch, but gaining 5 up to 10 off of connecting. Which means that I need to ask myself, can they do 10 damage to me with the 2 Swift Spears in play? If they draw Lightning Bolt, that's 6 powers worth of bolts and 6 powers worth of attacks. If they draw Lava Dart, does that kill me? Lava Dart is 2 by itself, 4 prowess triggers, so 6, plus 2 damage from the Swift Spears, so that's 8. So I would not be dead to just a Lava Dart, but I would be dead to a Lava Dart and something. I think what I would like to do is just play the Shadow Spear and equip and then pass. This means they also don't have a good attack because I would get to eat something in combat and gain the life, and then maybe on a future turn I can leverage the Unholy Heat to actually have a good attack. So given that, what land do I want to put into play? I think it's just basic Forest. I can use the Unholy Heat off of just the red source, which would leave me with Forest and Swamp, which does not cast Renin 6. So maybe I just get Mountain. I think I'm just fetching basics from here on out, so I think Forest first is probably just fine. So again, not going to attack because I don't want to die to any 2 spells. Whereas next turn, I think I can live through any 2 spells because I get to kill one of their blockers, ideally. And if they have just a single spell, like a single prowess trigger, I can always, if they protect their thing, use the Renin 6 to try to finish it. Alright, so there's the Islet that I knew about. Sacrificing now is a good sign. Got a good number of viewers right now, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, if this is the kind of content you like, great free way to support what I do is to hit that follow button. We've also got a YouTube channel where all of these videos get uploaded to. All my various social media links are found below right here. Alright, I go to 4. Does this get a Storming Entity into play? Oh, it's light up the stage. That's problematic too. At least they can get a Storming into play this turn. Darius, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Land and Channeler. Okay. Not as bad as it could have been. They still don't have an attack. I'm going to assume they want to play the Channeler as to not just lose it. Any chance they added another type for us? No, right? We're still just 5. That's a 3/3 flyer, though. They don't have a good attack. So I could combine the Renin 6 and the Unholy to kill the Channeler if I want, which would take care of the flyer problem. But I think I want to start attacking with my own lifelinker anyway. Urza's Saga. Interesting. So if I play Urza's Saga, I cannot both Renin 6 and Unholy Heat. I still think I want to just kill the Swift Spear. Should I attack first so the opponent has the least information while blocking? Can I even attack is a good question. So if I attack, assuming they take it, I'm going up to 9. If I don't fetch, I go down to 8. They would be left with Channeler and Swift Spear. If they have Lava Dart, that puts me to 6. And then their attacks would just kill me. So I could just kill a creature and stay back again, but then their Channeler gets to start chipping away in the air. I think I just have to start attacking and then try to get a little lucky. Alright, so let's, I guess, hit that. I'll attack first, so the opponent doesn't have info on blocks. I mean, I doubt they block. And there's actually not yet a creature in the yard, so I will actually gain an extra life if I kill a Swift Spear before damage. They could have a Phyrexian spell to save it, but if they do, at least they're not doing it on their own turn when it can contribute to an attack. Alright, so we're hitting for 6. Gaining 6, going to 10. And then I'll get a Saga going. Alright, so Lava Dart would be a nightmare. Because again, it would deal 2 Prowess triggers, plus this is 3, plus the 2 darts is 5, plus this is 8. So we're not literally dead. But it will be close. Yeah, and like the alternate line, I guess, would have been to just an all heat main phase to see if they save their Swift Spear as a way to play around the Lava Dart. But then they would have just attacked me in the air down to 1 and then darted me anyway, which also leaves me dead. So I think this is correct. Being dead is a lot worse than being not dead. Bolt is scary. So as of now, this is doing a total of 8, right? 3, 4, 5, plus 3 is 8. We go to 2. If they've got another spell, we're dead. I guess it would have to be a spell that does damage, but like all of the spells do damage. I want to see you bin a card. Uh-oh, they'll put a card on top. That can't be good. Alright, well, we didn't just die, so that's exciting. We've got a card on top. Oh, wow, that was insane. That's going to turn off the Delirium from Channeler. So, how's the mana going to work out here? I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to make a token, although a token would block the Swift Spear, so maybe it is just worth it. I for sure want to attack first, so that way Goyf is big while it connects. So let's lead there. Gain 6. Or try to. Okay. So if I fetch for basic mountain, I can also activate Urza Saga to create a blocker, which would be a 2/2. So Dart would have to target it twice. Yeah, that feels like it's got to be the line. All right, so I'll get basic mountain, which I guess I could wait on to activate the Saga. I could just use forest now. Drawing our singleton artifacts has looked lucky, and they're fetching away. They had surveilled top, didn't they? And I think I will just pop now. If I find like another Goyf or something, I can play that painlessly. Channeler. I mean, that is a 3/3 blocker as well. Yeah. So what I'll do here, I think, is play the 3/3 blocker, which is better than a 2/2 blocker that I have to pay a life for. And then I could even pay a life to put a Shadow Spear on it. Is that worth it? Going down to 7. I mean, if they can get this out of the way with a bunch of spells, I'm probably just dead anyway. At least fetching means I can net gain 2. So yeah, I'm going to get Basic Mountain and then equip Shadow Spear to Channeler. And then this can get Pyrite Spell Bomb, I think, as my last relevant interactive piece. Like, it's probably the expedition map plan is probably way too slow at this point. Wow, pulled it out. Nice. We drew some good artifacts. Alright, is it Prowess? Haven't played against this in a hot minute. Spell Bomb seems applicable. And I guess Engineered Explosives. Nothing else looks particularly exciting. I guess Terminate. Terminate looks good. Orb does nothing. Void Mirror does nothing. Kolaghan's commands a 3-mana shock, which seems pretty bad. Run Afoul can actually deal with the Stormwing entity, though. That's interesting. If they're playing Murktide, it beats that as well. It would be the only thing that it deals with, but honestly, if I can use these to kill the big stuff, I can use my smaller removal spells for everything else. On the draw, I'm going to cut the red and 6s. They just really don't do anything, huh? I need 2 more cuts. Maybe the expedition map plan is just going to be too slow. I don't know what else I would cut. Maybe it's just like a Thoughtseize. Or maybe I should just be cutting both Thoughtseizes. I like Thoughtseize because they can take the Stormwing entities. But now that I've brought in additional answers to Stormwing, maybe it's just less important to have the actual Thoughtseizes. So I could definitely see cutting one, but I think I'm a split decision between which of these two. Or maybe I should just cut around Afoul, because given that this is the only thing that it kills is the Stormwing, maybe overboarding onto it could be dangerous. I think I'm leaning towards cutting map. I just don't think I'm going to have enough time to deploy that strategy. We'll do that. Oof. We've got a creature of our own. We can kill their first thing. We've got a powerful artifact. We're a bit land heavy, though. This is the kind of hand where, like, if I draw relevant spells, this hand becomes excellent. But if I draw even, like, 1 or 2 more lands, we could definitely become in a pickle. I'm going to keep and hope to get lucky since we're on the draw. They did mulligan themselves, which is nice. Turn 1 Islet, so maybe a bit land light. And I'm going to go for the Bolt on turn 1, as opposed to playing Channeler. If they've got like a mutagenic growth to save it, it'll be unfortunate, but at least then they're not using the mutagenic growth to contribute towards an attack. Run Afoul. Okay, well, that's good. All right, so again, doing this now, so they don't have Prowess to save it during an attack. Mutagenic growth would be bad for me here. I guess double gut shot would do it as well, but I mean, that seems about fine. Seems especially bad to let the opponent save their thing with mutagenic growth on their turn, especially when it could potentially be their free spell to enable the Stormwing. So I would like to guess that they drew the Scalding Tarn. I guess that's actually another thing that Run Afoul could potentially kill. Blood Crypt is a bad draw. So what I probably will do here is just play Channeler and then I guess play a Spell Bomb. I don't want to sack the Spell Bomb for no value. If they kill my Channeler, I can actually just Run Afoul their Channeler. But that has me needing to shock. What I think I'm going to do, because like I need to fetch shock for this green source at some point anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is just go ahead and shock now. And then I can play Channeler, play Spell Bomb. That seems fine. Also, like, having Channeler in play seems advantageous to smoothen our draws before we cast all of our spells. Trigger. Another land. Been that. Lava Dart. Brutal. Alright, well, our Run Afoul is going to get to take care of their Channeler. But we're on empty after that. I could sacrifice the Spell Bomb just to gain 2 life. Doesn't seem great, though. When I've already got the Run Afoul answer. I maybe should have done it in response to the Swift Spear just so they don't have access to the Lava Dart in the yard, because Lava Dart's basically a shock for 0 mana at this point. But I think they are Landlight given they played Islet first, so maybe they're just not willing to sacrifice the mountain yet, which looks to be the case. Okay, well, if they don't have another spell, which we know they do, unfortunately. I'll say if they don't have another spell, we can Pyrite Spellbomb to get rid of the Swift Spear. How should I sequence this? I think I do want to pop the Spell Bomb, but I want them to sacrifice their flyer first, so I'll lead on Run Afoul. Doubt they have any way to take the Delirium out of their yard. Oh, I guess they could Lava Dart, but if they're Lava Darting now, that's also fine. So now, do I play a Spell Bomb just to Mize the Lava Dart? Honestly, that seems fine. Like, if they want to let their thing die, they're just going back to a Fiery Islet and darting us for 1 on a non-attacking turn. Yeah, that seems good. This is more a tempo play than anything. Put them between a rock and a hard place. If they've got a 1-mana spell in their hands, that would be unfortunate. Honestly, don't know what their hand can be, because we know it's not lands. We know it's not, I guess, more creatures. And then at a minimum, next turn, I can like get basic Swamp, use Spell Bomb, put Luris to hand. Maybe start looping Spell Bomb or Channeler. They let it work. That's big news. So like, funnily enough, if they've got Stormwing Entity rotting in their hand, the Lava Dart could be the spell that they need to like get it into play. So I could just sacrifice the Spell Bomb for no value. Like, if they Storming Entity, sacking Mountain, and going down to just Islet, is that a game I can reasonably win? I have so many removal spells that deal with it, I don't think I'm going to deny myself the card. Especially when Spell Bomb even just digs towards that card. Okay. So they would add Stormwing anyway, so getting a little rewarded. They have lots of good draws from this point now that they've got their mana established. Stormwing would be good. Expressive Iteration would be good, but they've just had enough. Really don't know what their hand could have been. It wasn't creatures, wasn't lands, wasn't one mana instants. Maybe they were trying to Blood Moon me or something. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Got a pretty decently sized crowd, which is exciting. Come on, give me a match. Okay, there we go. And we have to go first. Sick. Ooh. I mean, I'm gonna keep. We've got turn 1 monkey. Kinda hard to deny. And if we draw a fetch land, we get to curve into Renin 6. I mean, if we connect, we get to Renin 6 anyway, but it would obviously be excellent to be able to buy a land back. Oh no. Land? Can I get a green land, please? Crap. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Alright, well, I guess I'll play this and pass. Short of seeing turn 1 Young Wolf, this was about the worst case. Running 6 of your own. Jeez. Alright, we're dead. We're pretty dead. Alright. Not even a green source. Let's just pack it in. That was unfortunate. Alright, so this is looking like the deck that sneaks Emrakul into play. With the creative something or other, the triple red thing. Alright. Engineered Explosives is amazing. Spellbomb also probably just fine. If they're putting Emrakul into play, Run Afoul is actually a decent way to get rid of it. I don't know that I want 3. And I could Alpine Moon in order to name Dwarven Mine. But they've got plenty of ways to put artifacts into play. It might still just be good enough. Terminate is an additional way to interact with combo, but we've got so many pieces to do that already that it's probably just fine to not do that. This does not seem like a matchup where I really care about Shadow Spear. Pithing Needle also doesn't seem great, but I guess I could name a Planeswalker. Indomitable Creativity, thanks. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know that I want 3 Run Afouls, but I could definitely see needing 2. Maybe Nile Spellbomb really isn't even that important. Like, it's good for their Renin 6s, but outside of that, we can combo with a Run Afoul to get rid of Emrakul, which would be cute. But it would be, you know, just cute. I don't know that it would actually be that good. On the play, I think I'm going to keep the Ragamans in, but if we get a game 3 on the draw, I'll probably take them out. I'm going to keep in Pyrite Spellbomb, so that way Urza Saga has a way to deal with their combo. Yeah, maybe I just really don't need second Nile. This does seem like an Expedition map matchup, though. Maybe having brought in answers to Emrakul, I no longer need just like a bunch of answers to creatures. Because they really don't have a lot of creatures in their deck. But I want to keep the Unholy Heats over the Bolts because Unholy Heats can kill Renin 6s. Let's do that. And then on the draw, I'll probably bring in another Lightning Bolt or two over a couple Ragavan. Let's go first. Reveal the thing. Keeper. So Renin 6 of their own is going to be unfortunate to kill our Channeler. So I think we're just going to hope they don't have it. I could just play a Spell Bomb as a hedge around it. But I don't want to play around something I don't know that they have. I mean, we know it's in the deck, for sure. But just playing a Spell Bomb isn't really making much of an impact. Urza Saga is a good one. But I think I would like to get this Renin 6 going. So I'll get Stomping Ground. Say yes. Hope they don't have a Force of Negation. Trigger my Channeler. Bobble. I'll just bin it to contribute to the Delirium sooner rather than later. Excellent. If they have Lightning Bolt, I don't want to give him priority to kill the Ren. And then I'm going to hope they don't have a Ren. If they do have a Ren, I could at least Unholy Heat it. And then play a Saga, play a Tarmogoyf, which is a good turn. Zap. Alright. So all things considered, I think that was done correctly. And this also probably indicates they don't have a Renin 6, or at least they're not willing to expose it to a removal spell. Prismatic Ending for 2. Yep. So I'm going to get the Saga going. Ooh. Yeah, the mana still works out. I can get the Saga going and still cast Goyf. And again, the read is that they do not have Renin 6. Or I guess they could maybe not have the mana requirement. But I mean, they had a Tarn, so I'm thinking they just don't have it. Double threading here is really excellent. Triple thread if you want to count Urza Saga. So they could attempt to get Emrakul into play as early as next turn. Keeping up Unholy Heat will hopefully have us evading that, though. Alright, I think I'm just going to lead on attack. See how far that gets us. Maybe I even hit something off of the Ragavan. What happens if I hit the Emrakul off of the Ragavan? Like, can they just not win anymore? Don't actually know. Hard Evidence. I could cast that just to create a treasure. But I think I can't really lose as long as I keep up on the Holy Heat. Yeah, I'm just going to pass, right? Because this way we can activate Saga and still have double Unholy Heat insulation. The 0-3 just doesn't really see anything. Triome, yep. Dwarven Mine. Makes sense. Hard Evidence. Yes. So, if I activate Urza Saga here, and then Unholy Heat the Crab, they're forced to chump the Goyf. Alternatively, I could just go for lethal, but there are a number of ways that could go wrong. At a minimum, I'm going to activate Urza Saga. I could also just give Tarmogoyf Trample, which does seem like it would be quite strong. Do this. And then I do think I'm going to pop off one on Holy Heat. We don't have Delirium yet, so I have to kill the smaller thing. This on Holy Heat will give Delirium for the second on Holy Heat, though. Inquisition's a good one. So if I just float the mana here and put the Saga into play, and put the equipment into play, I can then pay 2, have 3 mana left over to do basically everything else in my hand. Yeah, let's just float mana here. This can get Shadow Spear. Oh, I took the Shadow Spear out. Right. Then what? Do I still just get Spellbomb then? Spellbomb at least threatens lethal. Yeah. So, let's Inquisition. I'm gonna mute real fast. Gotta take a phone call. Alright, and I'm back. Alright, so do I want Unholy Heat now? Before they draw a card? Probably. The thing is, like, they've got 2 artifacts at this point. So they could still creativity no matter what. But I mean, killing this would at least mean that I'm offering a lethal attack. Alright, Veil will resolve. Inquisition will not. I've got a mana floating. Cast the spell bomb with it. Now we've just got an excellent attack. Nice. Okay. This matchup feels like it's got to be pretty close. Am I making any changes? I did end up actually wanting the Shadow Spear just to crash through, but I mean, even when I wanted the Shadow Spear, it ended up not actually mattering. So maybe that's just a testament to not actually needing it. So I guess what I did mention possibly needing are more ways to interact with the combo while on the draw. Ragavan is pretty weak versus their 0-3 and their various Dwarven Mines. But I mean, if I get it going early and it actually gets to connect, just on the draw versus Ren and 6, it feels pretty piss poor. Maybe I just keep 2 and bring in another Bolt. That seems fine. Do I want to bring in another Run Afoul? Literally just for Emrakul? I don't think so. I think 2 is probably a safe bet. If I draw multiple Run Afouls, it's going to feel really bad. But the first one seems really, really good. Reveal the thing. Darn. Obviously can't keep this. Yeah, this is a hand. I guess I'll just bottom map. Map could guarantee me another land. But honestly, not really looking for using an entire turn on an expedition map. What's up, James? Have I found the deck? The deck has seemed perfectly reasonable. This is only my second time running it through a league, but I mean, it has felt quite strong. Inquisition. Inquisition is interesting because like it forces me to make a choice how I want to tap, how I want to fetch. I think I'm still gonna get Overgrown Tomb. Unholy Heat doesn't actually kill the crab for a while. I assume I'm gonna get Delirium by the time that I am able to kill them. And also, this is a turn where they don't have access to Veil of Summer, and this is also a turn right before Ren and 6. They've got Teferi and Ren and 6. Oh, they're actually not playing Emrakul. They're playing Villamacus, which our sideboard hate still does hit. I for sure have to take this Ren and 6 though, right? Teferi is really annoying, but I'll have the Unholy Heats to ideally take care of it at some point. Alright, so here's their hand. This is just Fire Ice, right? Yeah. Did I get a new mic? This is the mic that I've had. I got a new mic stand. It's much less in the way for me, which is nice. You think this one's run of Vel and one of Emrakul? In my experience, the ones that have run Velomachus have run only Velomachus and like a bunch of extra turn spells. Like, you kind of can't play Emrakul with all the extra turn spells, so they don't really do anything together. Alright, we drew the map anyway. I guess I'll play Goyf. Goyf is going to get bounced by Teferi, but the ideal scenario becomes that we just draw a red source so I can redeploy a Tarmogoyf and Unholy Heat the Teferi. I would really enjoy not having to use my entire turn casting an Expedition map. Also, our Urza Saga is not going to stick around for much longer, so now is the window. Fetch land would be the nut. What's the sideboard hate? Oh, they bounced our Saga. That's funny. Our sideboard hate is run afoul. Target player sacrifices a creature with flying. Alright, well, I mean, I'm going to attack the Teferi. I'm going to assume they block. Or they may just not block because they need the crab to Indomitable Creativity. That does not appear to be the case, though, which is interesting. Alright, despite being short on lands, we've got things we can play. We haven't actually missed a land drop since our opponent bounced a land with Teferi, which is kind of funny. They're just not doing anything. They can't get Dwarven Mine yet because, well, they could, but they would not yet get a dwarf off of it because Plains is not a mountain. They're gonna like ice a land. Interesting. I mean, we still get to use our mana to put a map into play. We drew the fetch, though. That's beautiful. Alright, so this will trigger. Having drawn the fetch, if I use the Unholy Heat on the Teferi, that does not add Planeswalker, but it would afford us attacking for 8 at their face, putting them to 6. If they have the Indomitable Creativity, that puts Villamachus into play. It's not an Emrakul deck. Yeah, no BBE is a feels bad, but BBE I think is a more fun card than an actually good card at the moment, unfortunately. Alright, so I could dash this Ragavan. We know the opponent has a Fire Ice. Oh no, they used the Fire Ice. So the only card we know about is Villamachus. So should I play around the opponent just sneaking a Villamachus into play next turn? That feels like the safest thing to do. Especially while most of their removal just kills Ragavan anyway. I could just attack one to face, one to the Teferi, and then in the worst case scenario, they have something to save the Teferi. I could always Unholy Heat it. Yeah, I do like keeping up the Unholy Heat. The issue is I don't want to just die to a Velomachus, which could happen if the opponent has a copy has access to a Dwarven Mine and the creativity. A way to not die to creativity would be to make sure I have an Unholy Heat available. So the only way to make sure I don't die to Velomachus and I get to kill the Teferi is if I attack the Teferi with both Goyfs. But then I'm giving the opponent lots of time to just do whatever they feel like. So it is a rock and a hard place. I think the highest win rate, though, is going to be just split the attack. Because if I don't split the attack, I'm just giving the opponent a lot more time. And I feel like giving the opponent a lot more time is a scenario where they're more likely to win. Alright, so let's split the difference. Attack the opponent, attack the Teferi. And, like, honestly, I could just go face, but then that doesn't actually insulate me versus the opponent's combo, because I can't respond with Unholy Heat if they've got a Teferi in play. So this is a riskier line, but I think it's the line that has me the best chance at winning. Prismatic Ending, the one going where? Like, it doesn't actually tell me, which is annoying. Alright, oh, they hit the one going at them. Okay, this is actually what I would have wanted them to do. I would rather kill the Teferi than just connect with them. Alright, Urza Saga's going away, but I get to use the mana there. And again, I want to avoid just dying. Renin 6 is annoying, but it doesn't kill us. So what am I getting with Saga? It might just be Pithing Needle at this point. Pithing Needle, the Renin 6. And like their land drops are still very relevant, because they could just get to the point where they're casting Velomachus at some point. Another Teferi. Alright, well, if I'm gonna Unholy Heat, I do have to respond. They're gonna bounce Goyf, which is gonna be really annoying. Yep, and then I'm gonna have to get Pithing Needle. If they bounce the Goyf with the Teferi, I could dash the Ragavan to kill the Teferi, which would let me keep up the Unholy Heat. So if they bounce the Goyf, I'm not even in that terrible of a position, but we are entering the realm of the opponent is just going to cast Velomachus at some point. They're just bouncing Saga again. That feels like their worst option, because we just get to have the Goyf in play. It's a 4/5. They're just trying to prevent us from getting Needle, I guess. Thoughtseize is good. So if I dash the Ragavan still, I can kill both Planeswalkers. The thing is, though, I won't be able to keep up the Unholy Heat. I guess I could Thoughtseize first to get some information and see what's up. Yeah, because I already can't Unholy Heat and Ragavan. Oh, they just have Emrakul too? Jeez. So they have the combo of Heart Evidence and Creativity. Emrakul doesn't do anything in hand. I'm not taking that. So if I take Heart Evidence, they can still just draw any fetch land. to creativity S, which they have Renin 6 in play for. So I think it's got to be between hard evidence and creativity, but creativity is the thing that actually lets them kill us. Right? You think the creativity is dead now? Not sure. The issue is like, so I could just take hard evidence and then kill the Renin 6 with the attack. Honestly, that does seem fine. And then just like hope it's dead. It's a gamble, but I mean, all of Magic is a gamble. Alright, so here's Urza Saga. Trigger. What I could even do, I was gonna say I could just attack the opponent with Ragavan, which would give me a treasure, but then that doesn't kill Teferi and I can't respond anyway. So we've got 6 powers worth of attacks now. Let's go to attack. This is for sure hitting the Renin 6. And then the question is just, where is this going? Given that if they draw a fetch land, it could just be another Dwarven Mine. This may be my only good window to kill the Teferi. So I mean, we're leaving them with a completely dead hand, at least as far as this turn is concerned. So I mean, this seems like the best spot that we could have created. They just drew another hard evidence. Brutal. Alright, let's see if they can creativity something else. I guess not. Alright. Who was it in chat that called it? That the creativity was just dead. You were right. It was Big Daddy Snow. Big Daddy Snow with the Big Daddy plays. Alright, let's see what we get. Another Unholy Heat. We're short of Delirium, though. If I pop the Expedition map and just search for a red source, isn't that excellent for us? Because then I could just keep up double Unholy Heat. It also adds Artifact. If they cast Villamachus, I could just kill the Villamachus before it attacks. Yeah, seems great. This just has to get a red source. Not Black Leafless. I guess I'll just get Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt seems good. Alright, so now we've got Delirium. We're hitting for 5. This is another Dwarven Mine. And I do want to kill this Renin 6, because that would mean that they still have to draw the land to play the Villamachus. Because we know their hand. So what I'm going to do is still just attack the Renin 6, so that way they have to throw a creature under the bus. Okay. Alright, and then kill the Ren. And then they know we've got Ragavan in hand, so not casting it could be a little suspicious, especially after we kill the thing that would have killed the Ren. Would have killed the Ragavan. Nahiri? Jeez, that was nutty. That had to have been their best draw. That gets rid of Goyf. Oh, I see. They're ditching Emrakul. Just like put another copy of something into the deck. So now their Indomitable Creativity is live again. But we know their hand is exactly Creativity and Villamachus. We can Unholy Heat to kill the Nahiri, but then we won't have Unholy Heat to deal with the combo. And like they have 2 fetch lands as well, so they can always just get 2 things. Alright, but we can get Pyrite Spellbomb though. Alright, so yeah, I'm not making a creature. I need to have my mana available. Yeah, Pyrite Spellbomb is going to be our second way to deal with the combo. So we are at 5 power right now. Do I really just have to ignore this Nahiri? It feels pretty bad, but I think I do. If I red and 6 get back our red land, it just doesn't work well for us. That Nahiri was pretty insane. So this is 5 power. If I don't attack the Nahiri, they get to minus the Nahiri and get rid of the Goyf and then just have a crap ton of time. Yeah, this is bad. This is really, really bad. Thing is, like, they're also going to be able to block with Dwarven Mine. And, like, dashing their Agavan doesn't really do anything because, again, they would block with Dwarven Mine. Brutal. I mean, I think I'm going to do it anyway. But that doesn't work because then we can't have double red for the treasures. Jeez. Yeah, I think I have to red and 6 buy back a red land. But I can do that after the mana fades. Brutal. Alright, I'll go at the Nahiri so it at least can't minus. If they block, then it can minus. Yeah, that Nahiri was nuts. Look at this time disparity. I mean, we're in game 3, so it doesn't matter. We should be plenty fine. Yeah, they've got to be thinking now, like, if they do block to save the Nahiri, they'll only have one thing to target with Indomitable Creativity, which maybe means that they can't work through a single removal spell. Definitely an interesting spot. God, that Nahiri. Brutal. I mean, they know we've got at least one removal spell. We've got the Spell Bomb just in play. So they're mining now. There's no way we add another type so we can actually end up killing this Nahiri, unfortunately. So do I just let them block? I think I'm killing this thing because I don't want their Nahiri killing my stuff. All right, 2 to target this because like this is gonna have to happen against their creativity anyway. Alright, so now the Nahiri can't minus to get rid of my creature. I can use the red and 6 to buy back a red land. Could use it to kill the Nahiri, but I really need to be able to hold up this heat. You may discard a card. Yeah. There's Villamachus. Alright, so they're on Emrakul plan. Mine. Yep. You're gonna go for the creativity? Oh, are you kidding? That's stupid. Now they can just target multiple things. Yeah, and there's just not much I can do about it now. I mean, we've got Runafowl in the deck, so we're not just straight dead to it. Here's Emrakul though. All right, we got to draw Runafowl. We got 2 in the deck. Right? Are there any other outs, or is it just Runafowl? It's just Runafowl. Alright, 2 out of 42. Come on, deck. Damn it. I don't have any ways to, like, draw cards here, right? This is a 6-7 now. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Channeler blocks. It does block, but it has Annihilator 6. So blocking is blocking is rough. So yeah, like down round. Yeah, like I can like hope to burn them out, but it doesn't look good. Like that's got to be the plan now. Is just like cast a few chump blockers. Just things to feed to the Annihilator. Yeah, it's not looking good. So now when they Annihilator, I have to sacrifice 6 things. Maybe I should have just Unholy Heated this now. Yeah. That Nahiri was the story of the game. Brutal. Yeah, so they attack. I have to block with this, which means I'm sacking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get to keep Goyf in play. Surveil. This. One more thing. So yeah, they still just go to 1. I'm short no matter how you look at it. Because I have to block and then I just don't have attacks. Have to block. Yeah, now I'm just dead. Yep, I mean, they could still just have something good in hand, which they do. I mean, that game was very close pretty much the whole way until they demolished us. Unfortunate loss, but a good match. Reveal the busted card. Yep, keeper. They've got a choice. Basic Swamp Inquisition does narrow down what the field could be. I mean, it's probably a red deck. Could even be a mirror, I guess. Could be 8-rack. I actually, the first time I played this deck, I actually ended up playing against 8-rack. Alright, I guess what I should be doing is bobbling first. Tarmogoyf. Okay, so it is not 8-rack. Or at least probably not. Alright, Fetchland is at least nice to pair with the Ren and 6. They didn't take the Ragavan, so I'm gonna guess they've got an answer to it. Maybe it is a mirror. There's the Goyf that we knew about. So ideally here, we find a way to get Goyf out of the way. I don't know that we can do it right now. Shadow Spear, huh? So if I play the Ren and 6, they can pretty easily just attack it. Do I really want to chump it? The thing is, like, if they've got a removal spell for Ragavan, that puts me infinitely behind. So I don't think I can afford to take that line. What I'll probably just do is play Channeler, play Shadow Spear. Yeah. Looks like a mirror. Saga, that's got to be good. If they hit me for 4, I'll just take it. What's up, Big Bad Piggy? Glad you could... Big Bad Piggy, glad you could grab one. Another Goyf. Yikes. Now what? I guess now I'm running 6ing. It's a lot worse now. But I just don't really have a really good line. These Goyfs are lining up really well versus what I've got going. Unfortunate. Maybe at a minimum, if I get this Ren and 6 going, and they kill the Ren and 6, maybe that can contribute towards Delirium for my Channeler to start connecting with a Shadow Spear, which could be a way to race. Let's see if we can bin a land. Hell yeah. Because now I get to play Saga and still get value off of my Ren and 6. Alright, so we're kind of hoping they choose to try to kill the Ren and 6 here. Because it just really doesn't do much. Just both at me. I think that's correct from the opponent. Maybe not. They're splitting it. So we've got Artifact, Creature, Land. This is going to be Planeswalker. So we will get to make this Channeler bigger with this dying. I think I'm just going to allow it. Been enjoying the YouTube for a while. I appreciate it. So do I want to start making Saga tokens? Unholy Heat was excellent. So now, if I fetch for basic mountain that adds Delirium, I can then Unholy Heat a Goyf. There is actually not an instant in the yard already, though. So that doesn't actually work. Right? We've got Planeswalker, Artifact, Creature, Land, Sorcery. So I would add an instant, which would grow Goyfs to a 6/7. We're even about to add enchantment as well. So, rough spot. I think I'm still wanting to fetch and attach the Shadow Spear. If they've got a removal spell, it will be unfortunate. But there's not much I can do about it. Mountain. I'll put it here. So that way if they try to kill the lifelinker, I'll still have it attached to a Ragavan. Alright, so I still can't Unholy Heat. It just doesn't work out. That'll fizzle. I mean, I guess I can put it here now. Make a treasure. If I attack, though, actually, I go to 12. They just have a lethal attack. I think at this point, though, I'm so far behind, I need to get lucky and hit something like a Fatal Push off of their own library. Inquisition. It's close, but wrong spell. Yeah, we're just dead on board. I could cast Ragavan just as a blocker, which would have me sacrificing my first one. Choose one to keep. This one. Not good, but Goyf's being a 6/7, kind of perfectly out of range. Jund Saga League number 2, yeah. It's just Jund League number 2. I'm kind of just categorizing them all as the same, which maybe I shouldn't do. Have to block. So, like, now I'm looking for... Not that. Alright, we're dead. There's nothing we could get to kill these Goyfs. Alright. Mirror match. But they're actually not companioning. So maybe it's just old-fashioned Jund. Either way, Kolaghan's command gonna be good. Explosive's gonna be good. This is just a 1-for-1, but honestly, Goyf is a big enough of a problem, or maybe it's worth it. And then another spell bomb, just like as a utility piece, could be relevant. I think I want the Needle, especially because they're very likely playing Liliana. This is definitely a map matchup. I don't think this is a Pyrite matchup. This is definitely a matchup where I'm wanting to take out a lot of discard, though. I'm just going to take out as many discard spells as I can. Probably just do this. Sure. They could be playing Bloodbraid Elf, especially because they're not companioning. So maybe Thoughtseize is better. Who knows? Reveal the thing. Yes, I will keep. It is not exciting. I could scry trick myself right now, which I think I'll do. I am looking for a creature of my own. Looks like I'll get probably Overgrown Tomb if I have to fetch. It is an Urza Saga. Don't think I want that. Get the Overgrown Tomb, first green source. You've got Goyf, Push, Spellbomb. Well, they are playing Bloodbraid. Well, with the lack of my own threats, I think I'm just going to take their Goyf. Alright, good old-fashioned Boomer Jund, my favorite. Alright, move this over here and yield. Yikes. Well, we're not going to win if we draw like that. I'm going to play the Saga. This is going to mean that a lot of these lands come in tapped. But if I'm continuing to draw as poorly as I am, I'm going to want to start making stuff with it. Which I can do as early as next turn. This means I can't Unholy Heat as well, which is going to be unfortunate if they find something that I could have wanted to Unholy Heat. So hopefully they just don't. That's fine. Yeah, Urza Saga is probably going to be the card that shines most. They've got Fatal Push. I'm just going to use Urza Saga this turn. So their hand is Push, Elf, Verdant, 3 unknown. And no play. Okay. And I'm for sure making a Construct here. I guess we'll see what we draw first, which is nice. That's a good one, but I think I'm going to extract maximum value wherever I can. Alright, so what am I getting? I could... Oh, wow. I could actually just get the Needle now that they haven't sacrificed Verdant. Just to put them behind more, right? Choose a card name. Activated sources can't be chosen unless they're mana abilities. So yeah, I could just name Verdant. Honestly, with me getting ahead on board, I like just messing with their mana. Yeah, let's do it. Verdant. Catacombs. Play a land. Pretty rude of myself. Alright, and then now since I'm diversifying my board, I think I don't mind playing more creatures. Like, the Urza Saga was kind of just the nut, as predicted. Okay. That is bad for me. You want to grudge another thing? Alright, let's hope for no run in 6. Well, they're almost definitely going to Bloodbraid here. Assuming they've got a land. Okay, I guess they don't. Kroxa, interesting. I mean, I'm just going to ditch the land and take 3. Yeah, so I guess they just didn't have a land. Interesting. I'll have to be careful of Unholy Heat not actually killing Kroxa because of the Spell Bomb. So if they escape the Kroxa, maybe I want to just ditch the Wooded Foothills. Make sure I remember I've got this. I mean, they would maybe just pop the Spell Bomb so the Unholy Heat doesn't kill it. Yeah, the Unholy Heat's got to be worth more than the land, even if I do take 3. Yeah, that Grudge was good. Could have maybe gotten Spell Bomb with the idea that it would insulate us versus Kroxa. Alright, well, we're not getting Bloodbraided or Kroxa this turn. Construct is being nice here to insulate versus a Liliana of the Veil. So we've got onboard advantage, but they've got resource advantage. Unholy Heat's being reduced to shocks is not a good feeling. Pyromancer. Yikes. I doubt they ditch a Bloodbraid, but they do. Interesting. I don't think I'm heating one of these things. Channeler is good. Channeler can hopefully get us back towards Delirium. And then I guess I can put Luris into hand as well, which would mean if they escape the Kroxa, I would discard a heat and keep a heat. Probably fine. We'd have land, instant, whatever we bin, and then maybe we can eventually work all the other Unholy Heat to killing the Kroxa. Yeah, and I'm going to attack for 5. Need to punch through this stuff at some point. I'm going to assume they just chump. Yep. I'll get, I guess, basic mountain. I get it basic forest. Now I've got double red spells. I'll get the mountain, even though it's likely I'm going to be discarding one. Jeez, they found the Wren. Ping Channeler? Well, I mean, killing Channeler is not even that bad, because I can Luris it back. I guess Spellbomb makes that harder. Take 2. We can also Unholy Heat the Wren in 6, which is probably going to happen in the near future. Ooh, Shadow Spear, huh? That's a pretty good way to start punching through elementals. Do I want to just do that? It would be bad against specifically Fatal Push. Honestly, though, I think I still want to get the Luris into play, because that way if they escape the Croxa, I can just ditch the Shadow Spear and immediately recast it, even if they respond with a Spellbomb activation in response to this. This is also better versus Fatal Push. So I'm going to let this resolve. This will happen. And then if I attack the Renin 6, I think they probably use the Elemental to block it. Which means that maybe I can kill the Elemental. This was actually a mistake. It ended up not mattering, because like I could always just Unholy Heat to guarantee kill the Renin 6 anyway. So yeah, maybe it just doesn't matter. So if they escape the Renin 6, if they escape the Croxa now, I can just ditch Shadow Spear and then cast the Shadow Spear off of the Luris. They can't really kill the Goyf because I'll just recast that. Just another Ren. I guess they can kill Construct for free. Saga would be a good draw. Alright, so I have the mana to Shadow Spear and equip and Holy Heat. If I just go for the Unholy Heat on the Pyromancer, I get to connect for a lot, including the Luris. It's a rough spot. If they've got a removal spell, I don't think I can win. I think I just have to kind of ignore this Renin 6 and go to the face. I'm pretty far from Delirium at this point, so maybe I just don't kill the Croxa. Like, I'll just like kill the Pyromancer and then try to attack face with both creatures. I guess I can lead on Shadow Spear and see what happens. And then I'm gonna put it on the Goyf, right? I guess like Kolagon's Command or second Renin 6 would be the reason to put it on my 2 toughness creature. But gaining a crap ton of life seems attractive. Alright, and then I guess kill the Pyromancer attack. I'm gonna go face face. Okay. And if they escape the Croaks, I'm discarding the land anyway, so I'll just play it. Alright, so they got 6 mana to do stuff. I mean, at this point, we could just draw a Bolt, which would be good. So they didn't go for a kill with a kill spell when they had a black and a red available. So now they're keeping Forest up. That could just mean, like, Decay or Trophy. They shrink Goyf down to a 4/5, which is actually a 3/4. It's a 4/5 because of the Shadow Spear. I mean, but they're still dead on board, right? We've got 2 lethal attacks. I guess like if they kill, if they have something to kill, they could then block the other thing, which is what they're hoping for. Spellbomb is interesting. I guess Goyf will still be a 3/4. Because we're gonna add artifacts to our own graveyard. This is also something that we get to recur with the Luris, which is a good feeling. Kill the Laris in response. Yeah, that makes sense. I will use the ability. Sure. We still have a few draws that would just kill them. Ragavan would do it. Lightning Bolt would do it. Unholy Heat would do it. Not explosives. Explosives would kill our own Tarmogoyf. Jeez. Awkward. We're at 5-6 right now. We're one shy. I mean, I have to cast the explosives or else the Kroxa would be attacking, would just deal with it. Red. Actually, here. Cancel. Green. Red. X is 2. Yeah. Go. Another Ravine. Wow, they're going deep. Grist. Uh-oh. That's a good one. They even hit a land to get back with the Wren. That's funny. Come on, deck. That gets Urza Saga, which maybe eventually gets Pyrite. I mean, I might as well attack, right? Gain some life, because like I'm not going to be able to block. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally not going to be able to block because they're just going to grist to kill my Goyf. So let me just gain the life here. Is there any reason to do it now as opposed to later? Yeah, I don't want them buying a land back. Let's just do it now. Kill Ren and 6, kill Kroxa. Alright, that's what I got. So if they don't gain life, I can maybe get Pyrite in a turn. Or we could just draw Pyrite, or we could just draw Lightning Bolt, which would be most ideal. That doesn't do it. Alright, so we can create a chump blocker. We need to just make sure they can't gain life. Okay. You want to double activate it? Sure. So far, so good. It's looking like we're going to pull out with it. Wow. All right, game 3. Do I want to take out my other 2 Inquisitions for something? The rest of this just does not seem like it does actual anything, so no. Yeah, Pyrite for the win. What's up, KO? Funny, it was. I don't know if you were here a few minutes ago, but it was stupid. We drew the expedition map and searched for the saga. Yeah, this sounds acceptable. Alright, well, they're playing Bloodbraid, and I doubt they took Bloodbraid out in this matchup, so I'm going to assume that they are not playing Veil of Summer. Fetchland was a really bad draw, though. Yield. Please no run in 6. I guess I'll bin that one. Run in 6 would be bad. I mean, it's hard to not play this, though.
Did you not take him out? I ended up getting.
Alright, Streamlabs is being really, really slow, so hopefully y'all can hear me.
They skipped us on
Come on, Labs. Croxa. Okay, there we go. Streamlabs was being really stupid. I don't know why it was being silly. Alright, we're gonna dash Ragavan and kill this run in 6. Goyf. We've got Terminate for that. Spellum was actually a fine draw, because that gives us something to do with our Urza Saga mana. Again, I doubt they're playing Veil of Summer. So I could probably pretty safely just terminate this, but I'll let them make decisions first. I'm not going to take the hit, though. I will just terminate it. Another Goyf. Alright, so if I activate Urza's Saga, it's going to be a 2-2 because of the Spell Bomb. I'll have 1 mana available after that to cast Ragavan. Another Saga was a good draw, though. Yeah, let's make our free 2-2. Get... They missed a land, which is interesting. The options don't look great at the moment. If I get other Nile Spellbomb, I can maybe empty both yards and then try to kill the Tarmogoyf with one of my burn spells, but that seems unlikely. Maybe I just get the Bauble to draw a card. Maybe I get Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear could be fun. Just make any threat good. Yeah, sure, why not? And then I'll get another Urza Saga going.
I just took mine off the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. So they have up only Bolt or Fatal Push. So what I can do here is I can go for the equip, but then I'm short of activating Urza Saga if I do it that way. So I do want to activate the Saga, which means that the only other mana that I have is to cast Ragavan or hold up Spellbomb. I guess I'll just lead on an attack. And then I will make a token before damage, because that would get us hitting for an additional 1, right? If they want to bolt, they'd have to respond. Yep. Still get to make a 3/3 here and cast a Ragavan. I mean, I'm just going to take the hit again if they attack. And now I'm not sure what I get with Saga. It might just be map to find another Saga. They're not doing anything, huh? Alright, I'm going to respond to the trigger. Ghost Quarter don't really do anything. Let's make another thing. Yeah, I mean, if I get map, that is a route to another Saga. I can't pop it this turn. Thing is, like, Needle doesn't really do much. If I Needle and name Nile Spellbomb, that hits my own as well. And then Pyrite doesn't really seem like it's doing anything. So it's between map and Bobble. I think I'm just going to Bobble. Flaris gets banned. Liliana will be interesting. Long Urza Saga. Yeah. Could be cool. Yeah, so I'm deciding between, do I want to just draw a card or do I want to map? I think I'm just going to draw a card. And I'm aware of my timer. I'll be quick. I guess I can play the Ghost Quarter. Go for an equip on a Shadow Spear. They could have a kill spell, which would be unfortunate. But if they're killing the construct, that at least means that Ragavan probably gets to connect. If they have kill spell to like make sure I don't gain life, and then they kill the construct to be able to connect with me, then I could definitely be in trouble. Yeah, double removal spell, okay. Played a land already. This is a 6/7. I could go to 1. Probably not great, though. The issue is if I go to 1, there's not much I can do. I'm going to go to 1. Reason being is I just don't have any creatures to follow up. So if I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, I need something to be able to put Shadow Spear on. More lands are quite bad, though. I guess let's see what we're drawing at instant speed. Unholy Heat. That will work with the Spellbomb to kill the Goyf. Should I just do it now? Yes, because then I get to attack. Well, I get to attack anyway. I have 5 types, including artifact, so I actually take out Planeswalker by doing it now. Alright, so now we can unholy heat this. Oh, they have their own spell bomb. Well, we still get to Kolagon's command it, so this still works. Also, they just don't have any more types, so this will still survive because it will be a 2/3. So now we have to equip Shadow Spear and pass, right? Because we're at 1, we can't actually fetch. Equip. And this is a 2/3 now. They didn't have the burn spell last turn. We've got lifelink. Could they have Ragavan? It's possible, but unlikely. They didn't do anything with their mana last turn, did they? I mean, we're dead to removal spell at this point anyway. I mean, literally anything does it. Yeah, we drew a few too many lands, but there's got to be something I could have done better. All right, yeah, we're dead. Yeah, there must have been something I could have done, but it did not work out. I'm thinking about my food right now, though, so I'm going to mute it real fast. So this is looking like elementals, which I've not played against yet. So since I have Unholy Heat, I'm feeling more confident in playing this Ragavan as opposed to a Channeler, because I can hopefully get something out of the way in order to connect. So that can be heated. I'll play the Channeler first to start getting some triggers. Is it worth it trying to conserve life here? Probably is. I don't really have a lot of green spells anyway, so I can just get basic mountain. We've already got a Saga. I don't really think I want another one right now. And then off of this treasure, I can either Thoughtseize or play another Channeler. I'm thinking I'm going to want to Thoughtseize because this is going to be the opponent's Risen Reef turn. We knocked a Fury off of the top. That Fury is another reason to not overcommit with a bunch of X1s, right? In that. So we're gonna have five card types in the yard, which is nice. They do have the Risen Reef. They do have the Fury. And the land. I kind of think I need to just take this Fury. Like, Risen Reef is bad, but unless they want to just trade immediately, we're still going to have a few threats to work with. Solitude is really bad as well, but Fury gets to kill both of my things. I mean, I could maybe just hope that they don't draw a red card. Risen Reef is the only thing they actually get to do. You think it's 100% Risen Reef? I think you might be right? Because, like, if they draw a red card, they kill both of our stuff, both of our things. And then if they draw a white card, they get to kill one thing. But then we still have Risen Reef. We still have a Saga and a Channeler left over. Yeah, it does look like Reef. And then we just hope they don't draw a red card, pretty much. Well, if they're Furying, it's a 2 for 2, right? They kill two things. Kahira to hand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a bad one. I think I'm probably just going to play another Channeler. I could be more mana efficient and put Luris into hand. They do have Kahira now, which is a way to use Solitude. I think I want to put Luris to hand. Just way more mana efficient, and we can also get Saga going. It's worse if they Fury, because then they could get us. They could have Fury with an empty board. But this is just way more mana efficient, and we get to play Channeler anyway because we get to make a treasure. Busted. I guess unless they kill Ragavan. Yeah, attacking first would have been technically correct. But them solituding at least makes their Fury worse if they decide to Fury, right? Alright, and they pitched Kahira. So their hand is Fury +2. Thunderkin Awakener would be bad for me. Alright, and they're just Furying, pitching Lightning Skelemental. Renin 6 is nice, but let's just play 2 creatures here. Yeah, that was a real insane turn for us. I'll just save the life here. I don't know if it could be relevant, but I don't doubt that it will. Pretty solid turn. Alright, well, they're at 0 cards to get rid of our Luris. Then we still just have 2 Channelers and an Urza Saga that's about to pop off. I don't really see a reason to prioritize putting this Renin 6 into play, so I'll spend some mana making a 1/1. And then, honestly, I might just get the Shadow Spear to push damage. Shadow Spear means that we're effectively going to have another 3/3 because we're going to make our construct a 2/2 and then a 3/3 with the buff. I guess I could get Pyrite just as a way to kill something. It's either Shadow Spear or Pyrite, but I think I like the Shadow Spear just to diversify threats and make potential Furies worse. Go. Feel pretty ahead. You like Pirate to get to stop top deck Risen Reef? They're just dead on board to that because we have the Renin 6. Well, they're not dead on board to it, but we just kill it with Renin 6 and equip, and they're just straight dead. All right, Engineered Explosives. I don't know that I want to be 1-for-1ing but we might have to. We definitely want the Torpor Orb. That's like literally why it's here. And then we saw Thunderkin Awakener, so there's a good chance we want the other copy of Nile Spell Bomb. The discard spells seem really, really weak when they're just basically drawing infinite cards. I guess I'm going to keep the Thoughtseize over an Inquisition if I have to, because Thoughtseize can hit something like a Fury. Sure. I could see a reason to Kolagon's Command over a Thoughtseize. I'll keep the one Thoughtseize. Solid little hand. We're missing a color, but we don't have any cards of that color. Yep. I'm still thinking I want to play the Ragavan. That'll at least make them use their turn on the explosives. I could wait to dash it and kind of surprise them. But I like running it out. Cast the Bauble. All right, so yeah, they're looking to use their turn on the explosives. We've got Voice of Resurgence on top. Well, they'll probably end up searching that away anyway. Jeez, we are drawing not super well. All right, well, I'll attack. Gonna assume they pop this here. Yep. Yeah, we're not drawing very well. Alright, well, they get to play the waste now. I would hate to have to use 2 removal spells to burn it out, but I might have to. Okay. They're going to search before fetching? They got the Reef. Search for Risen Reef. Fetch. This does put it on top, right? Yeah. I probably would not have sequenced it that way, but that's just me. If they haven't realized already, they're going to be in for a surprise when the Risen Reef's not on top. Try again. Yeah, try again. Can't feel bad for him, I guess. So Ragavan does not really look all that impressive on this board. So what I'll probably do is just play Luris, play Bobble. And then I might just kill this Voice of Resurgence now. Because it is going to be pretty significantly annoying when I'm trying to kill stuff at instant speed. Alright, cast a Bobble. We know Risen Reef is on top, so there's not really a reason to look at their top card right now. And then I will just go ahead and give them a 3-3. We're pretty far from Delirium, so Bolt I think may just be better than a Heat moving forward. Alright, so you'll make a 3-3. And then I'll pass. You'll draw your Risen Reef, and then after you draw that card, I can continue the flow of information with the Bobble. Omnath. Jeez. Well, that is the way to deal with Luris. Yeah, you don't want to attack with the 1/1s. No attack at all is interesting. Draw a card. Ooh, that was good. That was quite strong. Alright, cast a Bobble. Play an Urza Saga. Trigger. Play a Torpor Orb. Leave up a Swamp and 2 Mountains so I can leave up Spellbomb activation and the 2 red spells. I will need to find a way to deal with this Elemental. Alright, so this card's actually in their hand, so I could get the information now. Oh, it's another Risen Reef. I mean, Orb in play is going to help with that. Just yield to this. Another Saga. I mean, we're going to need to find green at some point. I mean, this is still going to trigger off of lands that they play. So I'm going to have to prioritize killing that pretty quickly. I'll just do it now. Take it. And then should I sacrifice the Spellbomb looking for a green source so I can have a threat? I don't think so, because like I've got the Urza Saga, right, and that kind of just is the threat here. Go Bobble again. And for some reason this isn't legendary, so I'll just play another Urza Saga. Let's look at their top card again. Risen Reef. Guess I'll play a Spellbomb such that my Urza Saga tokens are even bigger. I guess if there's a turn where we see something on top that we're really scared of, we could maybe Ghost Quarter to try to convince them to shuffle. Make a 4/4. Do I just trade? I could Unholy Heat something. I could Unholy Heat something in order to just eat their thing, but I think I need to save the Unholy Heat for something like Omnaths that would actually provide them triggers. Stack it. Activate it. Does it even matter? I guess I get Pyrite Spell Bomb. Cast a Bobble. Windswept Teeth, that doesn't do anything. I guess I could start attacking with the Luris, but I don't want to use all my removal spells on just generic 1/1s. I can start attacking the turn immediately following, so playing it safe is probably correct here. Resolves. And then now I think I'm just going to get Shadow Spear, because I would love for my creatures to actually be able to connect through their pile of 1/1s. Just another Urza Saga. Keep the train rolling. Who needs green mana? Crunch. There's the Fury. It's a bit too late, though. This Torpor Orb kind of hits that, too. Pretty good. 11 sources of green mana is low. Yeah, maybe. Hasn't really been a problem until now, and even now it just kind of doesn't matter. All right, you got a 3/3 with double strike. Because it wasn't easy enough. Okay. Well, that was a slaughter, even without green mana. Urza Saga. You know what's better than the first one is the second one. You know what's better than the second one is the third one. Alright, so I'll do a quick deck tech slash wrap up for purposes of the recording, and then I gotta get out of here. So I was really, really happy with the addition of Shadow Spear. I know Shadow Spear isn't something that a lot of people are... Not a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people are, but not everyone is playing Shadow Spear right now. And there were definitely multiple situations where the Shadow Spear was good this league. I think in 3 separate matches it was extremely relevant. And like 1-ofs tend to not really like change the texture of how matches go pretty often. But I've effectively got 5 Shadow Spears, right? Because we've got actual Shadow Spear and we've got 4 Urza Sagas to just tutor them directly into play. So one of artifacts in this deck are really, really powerful. The Ragamans and Channelers still just the best one drops maybe ever printed, that are legal. The Renin Sixes and Goyfs are still just excellent, and maybe the weakest aspect of the deck was the discard spells. I found myself boarding them out a good amount of the time. Like, discard is good versus control decks and like combo decks, but against mid range and aggro decks, they shine less. So I mean, that's kind of just what we faced in this particular league. So they just didn't look good in the league, given that that's what we played against. But I mean, versus the actual field and what we expect to see on average, they could still be fine. The sideboard looked really good. And we actually found matchups to bring in the run afoul versus Is It Prowess. We killed the Dragon Raids' Channeler, and we also had Insulation versus Stormwing Entity, which is otherwise a pretty problematic permanent, barring Unholy Heat. And the rest of the sideboard looked excellent. We didn't bring in the Void Mirrors, but the matchups where those are relevant are present and obvious. The second Spellbomb was good. The Orbs were excellent. Didn't bring in the Grudge, but again, another situation where like we just didn't face the matchups where it would have been good. And then the Explosives and Kolagon's commands, despite not having any of their ace matchups, we were still able to bring them in versus grindy matchups, and they were just fine there too. So all in all, the sideboard has felt pretty good. I'm still not certain on run afouls. Run afoul is probably excellent if you're taking this deck to like a tier 1 centric like in-person event where everyone's going to be playing the best deck, or at least what they think is the best deck. And that deck is probably the Murktide deck, and in that situation, Run Afoul goes up in value. But with the average Magic online league, people tend to play what they want to play, so it's maybe less relevant in a 5-match league than it would be in an actual event or like a qualifier or something like that. But I mean, other than that, the deck has continued to feel very solid. I'm a combined 6 and 4 right now, which is not overly impressive. But honestly, I think at least 2 of those matches, including one this league, something could have been done differently in the gameplay to maybe come out ahead. So the deck's definitely powerful. I maybe didn't pilot it to its highest potential, but if I can eventually learn to do that, then our record will improve. So that's gonna be it for this recording. For all watching on YouTube, thanks for watching up to this point. I really appreciate the support. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, remember it's a great free way to support what I do, the content that I make. So if you would be so kind as to hit that subscribe button, you'll get to know when all my videos go live, including this one. Obviously, because you're watching it on YouTube. So, thanks, until next time, and Jen them out.